I quickly want to cut across to our reporters on ground zero. We have Geeta Mohan, our foreign affairs editor in Maldives, and Shivimol KG joins us from the Kavarati island in Lakshadweep. Geeta, to you first. The president of Maldives is in China, and he's asking China to send more tourists, to become the largest country sending tourists, as it was in pre-COVID days. What's the buzz on ground with Indians deciding if there's an India Out campaign in that the president ran in before his elections, Indians will not go to Maldives? What's the buzz on ground?
Well, Gaurav, the tourism industry is a little jittery when it comes to these cancellations or news of India not looking at or looking to Maldives as a holiday destination, that Bollywood will not be looking at the Maldives as a shoot destination. And so they are worried. But again, replacing India over here in the Maldives by China is rather impossible. If you come over here, you know how deeply entrenched India is in the entire way of life here in the Maldives. It's not just the tourism sector where tourists come in, the hospitality sector, the hospitals, medicine, the medical facilities over here, doctors, nurses, they're from India. And if you look at the basic necessities that the Maldives has and is fulfilled by India, food products. So in a lot of ways, when I spoke with Maldivians over here and the tourism industry, they do say that India is irreplaceable. There can be addition, but there cannot be replacement of India. We know that the current dispensation is playing the China card, and President Muizu is in China with almost his entire cabinet, which includes the tourism minister. So these are statements coming in from the current dispensation, which is only 2 months old here in the Maldives. One will have to wait and see how this entire controversy really pans out. They were quite careful. The suspensions happened, but over here, a common Maldivian, as also the opposition leaders are not seeking two things over here, Gaurav. One is suspension is not enough, that they should be terminated. And secondly, that there has to be condemnation and apology, if not an apology, at least a condemnation at the highest level, which is yet to come.
You know, and it's very disappointing that if Maldivians depend so much on India, and if India has gone out of its way to help Maldives each time, whether it's COVID or when Maldives ran out of water or the security, an India Out campaign should make a man president. 54% votes he gets and becomes president of a country with an India Out campaign. Rising radicalization in Maldives is another cause for concern. But Geeta, stay on. We'll talk about that in greater detail during the course of this broadcast. Shivimol, as far as Lakshadweep is concerned, indeed very beautiful. But you've been on ground. What all needs to be done? What are people in Lakshadweep talking about? How do more Indian tourists get to Lakshadweep with that quality tourism that people say they're looking at?
Well, Gaurav, as far as the residents and also the tourists are concerned, Lakshadweep needs a lot of development in terms of infrastructure, because firstly, with the commutation facilities, there is you can either take a flight from Kochi or you can take the sea route from Kochi. So, but the flights are very limited. There's just one flight that's operating 6 days a week, and that's a 72-seater flight. So there's a very limited number of seats available in the flight. So it's not very easy, and it gets pre-booked much earlier. So a quick getaway is not really possible. And when it comes to the sea route, there are 7 cruises traveling from, starting from Kochi to Lakshadweep. But in reality, it's only 3 cruises that's actually operating on ground. So that's a difficulty that's been raised by people. And also, there's a lot of formalities. You have to get an entry permit. You have to get a clearance certificate by the local police in Kerala, in Kochi. And after that, once you reach Lakshadweep also, from you to move from one island to the other, also you need this entry permit with you all the time. So there's a lot of formalities involved for you to plan a trip to Lakshadweep. That's one concern. And also in terms of travel, like this, the news that the Minicoy Island will be getting a new airport is a big boost for the for Lakshadweep if Lakshadweep is concerned, because whoever I spoke to were telling about the same, because islands like Minicoy and Bangaram are purely for tourism purpose.
Yes.
There are 36 islands in Lakshadweep, out of which only 10 are inhabited, and among that also Minicoy and Bangaram are purely for tourism purpose, because residents of natives of Lakshadweep are not residing there. It's completely free. It's beautiful. Bangaram Islands is where we saw those viral images of Prime Minister Modi Modi, it's from Bangaram Island. So it's beautiful. It just needs a big boost. And if an airport is coming in Minico Island, it will be a major boost, considering that that island is particularly for tourist purposes.
Oh, absolutely. And let's hope that action is taken, not just words, to develop not just Lakshadweep, but also Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And it's huge and it's very, very beautiful. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands along with Lakshadweep on the other side. Shivi Mol for joining me here on India Today. Many thanks.